You're trying to break through and scale your business. You've probably been trying for quite a while. You've probably tried almost everything, like I did. But the thing is, guys, over 99% of businesses fail. Why is that? This isn't the Olympics. You don't have to be born with something in order to succeed. It's not the high jump. It's knowledge. There's something that over 99% of businesses are not doing, so that they're failing, that the businesses that are winning and succeeding are doing. And the thing is, guys, I went to Stanford University. I'm close personal friends with a lot of founders of all kinds of businesses, from what was the world's second biggest affiliate marketer to the founder of Instagram. And we're very good at studying. And what we've found, this is on the leading edge of consumer psychology, is that all those businesses that are not commodities businesses, that are breaking through and scaling, are doing one thing. I know it doesn't look like they're doing the same thing, but we're about to dive into that, show you how to do it, show you how to break through and scale so that you can reach your dreams the same way that it allowed me to. I'm excited about that, and I hope you are too. Let's go ahead and get into it. If you're a man between about your mid-30s and mid-50s, then this in particular will apply to you and will help you break through and scale your business. I'm Dak, and I wrote Entrepreneurship Solved because there wasn't any kind of complete enough guide out there to make sure that anybody that wanted to break through and scale their business could do so. Whether you're selling physical products from home or from a drop shipper on any platform, or you're an online coach, maybe you're a physical fitness coach, maybe you teach people how to trade stocks, maybe you teach people how to improve their own lives, maybe you teach them how to hunt mushrooms, or maybe you have a physical store, maybe you run a local store or studio, maybe you're an affiliate marketer, anything where you need to accumulate a lot of customers, even a YouTuber. This is exactly what all of the businesses that are doing that have a large customer base, from Starbucks to Whole Foods to Facebook to Tony Robbins, are doing to be so successful and scale so much. Now, if you're an oil company and you sell a commodity, this probably isn't for you. But for almost everybody else watching, this one thing is exactly how all of the businesses in your shoes are breaking through and scaling. And there really just is not another way to do it. They're all doing some form of the same thing, and I'm going to show you why and how. Yo, Gary V, what's up, man? Hey, I got a question. How do I break through and scale my business? I've been trying everything. Well, first you gotta eat a lot of blueberries. I eat blueberries like it's my job. It saves so much time. All you motherfuckers out there, you're just wasting so much time eating. Okay, that's great, but beside the blueberries, then what should I do? Okay, so you're gonna make content for the next 3 years and you're gonna put it on TikTok. See, everybody's on TikTok, it's all about the attention. And you just keep putting it up there and keep making content, and then people are gonna love it. It's gonna scale. Eventually you're gonna do something that hits and it's just gonna scale, man. Content. It's about the content. Just don't buy the New York Jets, because that's for me. Don't buy the New York Jets. It's my thing. Content. Isn't that kind of just guessing? It is. Alright guys, so here's the deal. I had a 7-figure business when I was pretty young. Did incredibly well. Was making an insane amount of money every month. But that business required me to personally get on the phone with every single customer and then make high ticket sales. So I decided that I wanted a more scalable business. I closed that business down and tried to start a new one. In that process, I wound up struggling extremely hard and going through hell for over 3 years, which might not seem like a long time, but if you almost go bankrupt 10 times in 3 years, you're barely making enough to pay the bills, it's complete hell. I don't want anybody else to go through that. Now here's the thing. What I learned that got me out of that is that basically all scalable businesses are doing the same one thing. Effectively every single one of them, if they're not in commodities or something. And that is creating what we call one-to-many closeness. One-to-many closeness, guys. That is a form of relationships that is scalable. So let's think about this. If you're the Beatles, you run a scalable business. You have all of these fans. Those fans, through the process of how you marketed yourselves as the Beatles, they feel close to you. If they saw you walking down the street, the Beatles, they would be excited. They feel like they know you in a way. They feel like they know things about you. But there's only one Beatles, there's several members, but there's only one group, and there's many fans. So that's one group to many closeness. Now you're saying, okay, that's a rock star, that's a band, that's what they do. Now think about Starbucks. Starbucks created a scenario where there's only one company, Starbucks, but many people feel like they almost understand the personality of Starbucks, whether or not they like it. You might think it's amazing and inviting and warm and a great place to spend your time. You might think it's pretentious and overpriced. Either way, you feel like you know Starbucks. And the customers of Starbucks feel like there's a closeness there. There's one company and many people. There's a relationship. And at the same time, what I found was that all these people that are out there trying to sell something and are failing or barely able to scale it, over 99% of people that start businesses who are talented, intelligent people fall into this category. They are trying to take something that they spent a lot of time and effort on, whether it's a service or a product, they're showing it to people, and then they're telling them why it's great. But they're never forming that one-to-many closeness. There's no relationship there. There's no understanding of how to create that relationship. Guys, that's the key. That's the one thing. Whether it's Starbucks or Facebook or Google or the Beatles or a movie or a popular fitness trainer. All of them that are succeeding, all of them are creating one-to-many closeness, a type of relationship. So let me say this. You're like, how is that relevant to me? A friend of mine, he just sold over $60,000 last month. I know a lot of you are going, well, this is a bad time to run a business. He sold over $60,000 last month. And he sold all of that to people that are almost all between 20 and 26 years old. In other words, people without a lot of extra income. And he's 40 years old, guys. He's 40 years old, $60,000 of sales last month, and he just launched his new product. He'd been doing a little bit of sales before that, but almost all that was on his new launch. And he did all of that by forming scalable one-to-many closeness with that market. So guys, in a time that everybody thinks is terrible for business, a 40-year-old sold $60,000 last month, and this, by the way, is a lot of coaching where he has no expenses. His only expenses are what he's sharing with the people that helped connect him with some of their audience. And by the way, he had no brand built up with that audience, so this is from scratch. So this is all profit. He just has to share a little bit with people that he partnered up with. But they didn't know him. So he created that one-to-many closeness with all these people and sold $60,000 last month. And when I'm filming this, it is the height of the quarantine of coronavirus, when everybody thinks it's terrible to start a business. It's not terrible. The reason he managed to do that is because those people were bored and they were trying to improve their lives. So he capitalized on the fact that they were bored, formed those scalable relationships, that one-to-many closeness with them, and did over $60,000 in profit last
month as a 40-year-old selling to 20 to 26-year-olds that don't have any money. Now, again, that's the same thing that Facebook and all these other organizations are doing. How did Facebook do it? Well, they created this scenario where you probably first heard about Facebook through a friend. Once they had your attention, maybe your friend got you to log in. When you logged in, you said, wow, there's that person from high school that I haven't seen in forever. There's a cool picture from this other person, etc., etc. They created a payout for you. They made it engaging. But you didn't have a relationship yet. So maybe you logged out, you forgot about it. Maybe somebody was like, hey, did you see that thing I sent you on Facebook? Or maybe you got bored and you logged back in again. When you did that, you saw things that were useful or interesting or entertaining to you again. They created a way to slowly ramp you into a relationship. So now you feel like you understand Facebook. You understand what it's about. You understand its character. You understand what you're going to get out of it. Or if you're not a Facebook user, that's what happened with other Facebook users. There's a process to go from first experience to a relationship. They do not just do what most people that try to run a business do. Most people that are trying to run a business, it's like they ran up to you on the street and they were like, look at this great thing that I did. Buy this, buy this, buy this. It's amazing. It solves all your problems. And you're like, I don't know you. It doesn't matter how amazing that thing is. The fact that you just ran up to me on the street and tried to tell me how great it was and then immediately asked me to buy it, that's not going to fly. That's what most business owners are doing. And a lot of them have really great things. Whatever you're trying to form a business about or whatever you're curious about forming a business around is probably great. But if you just run up to people and say, this is great, this is great, this is great, buy it, it's not going to work. There has to be a process. Now, what is that process? When you look at all these businesses, they're all following the same steps. Now, I am by trade after I graduated from college. So I went to Stanford University, graduated with a Master's of Science, got my bachelor's and my master's in 4 years. Very difficult to do, whatever, I'm a nerd. Then, after that, my specialty has been in practical psychology. Why people buy things, why things go viral, what interests people, etc. So we've been studying this problem for years, and what we finally found is that they're all doing the same thing. They're forming this one-to-many closeness. Every business that is succeeding, or almost everyone, kind of have to say that for legal reasons, almost everyone, they're doing the same thing and it has the same parts. So let me go ahead and teach you guys the beginning of that. The parts are, first you've got to grab attention. You need attention, guys. If you don't grab attention, you don't have anything. Now let me tell you something. This video will get over 65% of people to watch the first 20 or 30 seconds. That is unbelievable. The average is about 6 seconds, guys. Or sorry, the average is about 6% watch the first 20 to 30 seconds. That means 10 times as much attention on this video using the principles that we go over in Entrepreneurship Solved. And the reason I wrote this is so that you don't have to go through the hell that I went through. That's why I'm sharing this. Now, over 10 times as much engagement. So you need to grab attention, and guess what? There is a formula to that. People think that it's random, but psychology is advancing. It's not random. Surprise, shock, any kind of danger, any kind of opportunity. We're going to teach you how to use these. Those are what grab attention. So first, you need attention. Second, you need engagement, and you'll understand why in a second. Engagement is when you hold that attention for a long period of time. How do you do that? The brief overview is you create emotions, you use change, and or value. So if you're giving somebody value, they'll keep giving you attention. If you create emotions, guys, if you create emotions, people will continue to engage and give you attention. Or if you're just changing it up. But generally you need change plus emotions or value. Preferably both of those things. That keeps engagement. Now, why do you need to keep engagement? Because of the third thing. The third thing is spend time with the prospective customer. As much time as possible. The more time you spend with a prospective customer, the better the relationship that forms. Ideally, as genuine, as helpful, and as entertaining as possible. If you're giving them value, if they see why having that relationship with you or your business will benefit them and will help them on the way to whatever their goals are, then they will spend time with you. And the more time that they spend with you while you're showing them that you can help them on the way to their goals, or even just entertain them, you will form a relationship. Let me rephrase that in a way that makes more sense. Remember the last friend that you can think of that you met and became friends with. Was it like you met them at a barbecue and instantly you were best friends? I don't think so. You might have been like, well, that's a cool person. And then for some reason, you hung out with them again. For some reason, you spent more time with them. Either they knew your friends and they showed up again, or you worked with them and so you're around each other again, or you randomly ran into each other and talked again, or maybe you exchanged numbers. For some reason, you spent more time together. Multiple exposures, more time. Relationships are built on multiple exposures and time. So you grab attention, then you keep engagement using emotions or value and change, and then you spend time. When you do those things and you show somebody that you can help them towards their goals or entertain them, then you create a relationship. Now, one-to-many closeness means there's one you or one business and many customers, and you forming a closeness with all of them so that they feel like they know you or they know your business. You also want to form that with the product. So there's businesses that you like the business, but you don't buy all of their products because you also want that with the products, right? That's what we go over in Entrepreneurship Solved. We're going to go over how to do that with any tools that you have available. Some businesses do it with billboards. Some businesses do it with live events. Some businesses do it with online marketing. Some of them pay for marketing. Some of them do content marketing. Starbucks does it with the spaces that they have. Facebook does it with a website. Online fitness trainers, they do it with Instagram and YouTube. We're going to go over in Entrepreneurship Solved how to execute that process with whatever tools you have available and with whatever business you have in mind, because you have to go through that process. Guys, there isn't a reality where you're going to succeed and scale a business without going through that process. You can look around at any business that scaled with consumers that wasn't selling a commodity. We're not talking oil companies here, and you're going to see some form of that process over and over and over again. And then you're going to look at the businesses that failed, and they're not going to be using that process. And that's the difference. And when you see, and we're going to go over many case studies, starting right here in the free, this is just what I'm holding is just the free first 10 chapters of Entrepreneurship Solved. So we're going to dive into this process, its nuances, in here, just in the first free 10 chapters. And look, these are not like small pages. Like if we put this on a normal bookshelf size book, this would be very long. We're going to go over exactly how to do this, and case studies so that you can see how many businesses are doing this. And when you start looking around the world, you're going to see that they're all doing this. Now you're going to pair that with two things. One is as much irrefutable evidence as possible that whatever you sell works. That whatever you sell works. Preferably visual evidence, irrefutable visual evidence. As much irrefutable evidence as possible that whatever you're doing works. That could be what you see on late night TV where they're like, this is Vince and I've got a slap chop, and then they show it working. That's irrefutable evidence. They're just showing it right there. Testimonials, they're not quite irrefutable, but it is evidence. So that's a step in the right direction. It could be, here's my paving company and paving a driveway and look at how amazing this driveway is, or the house that we built. Or it could be, I'm a fitness trainer and look at this little mini documentary that we made of somebody's transformation, because the before and after picture is great, but there's a little that's not quite irrefutable, is it? If you actually followed somebody through their transformation, it could kind of clip that together like a mini documentary and then show several people working with you. That's a lot more irrefutable. It could be, I help people buy yachts. Now, here's the people that I took and helped them buy yachts. Whatever irrefutable evidence you can possibly create. And then the last thing is, you want to put that into an offer that's too good to pass up. We'll talk about that more in a second. Besides all that, whatever you're doing needs to resonate with your customers. It needs to be their dream. It needs to be their goal. It needs to be something that they already wanted, something that they already were interested in. We'll go over that too. And then how you phrase it to them, how you show it to them, the channels that you bring it to them with. That all needs to resonate with your product and with your customer. So, resonance, irrefutable visual evidence, or some type of irrefutable evidence, an offer that's too good to pass up, and then combine that with the one thing that separates basically all businesses that succeed and scale from those that fail, which is forming one-to-many closeness. Now guys, the key to scaling is that you personally cannot be involved in forming every relationship. If you have to get on the phone or meet with every single client before they buy, you cannot scale. Yes, you can hire somebody else to do that. You're still limiting scaling if every single person has to have a one-on-one interaction with another human being before they purchase. It is easier to get started that way. If you don't have a business, you're not making money, it's easier to start that way, but you're not going to be able to scale because it's a choke point. You need to figure out, and we're going to teach you how to do this, how to do that with scalable tools so that that relationship can be formed without one-on-one interactions. The Beatles did not individually interact with every single fan to create one-to-many closeness. Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg did not go out and interact with every single Facebook user in order to create that one-to-many closeness. They use tools to do it. Now, after they're a customer, if they want to hire you to do something one-on-one with them, that's fine. You can decide what that's worth. And that will only deepen the relationship. Remember, we want genuine relationships here. But before they become a customer, if you have to have one-on-one interactions with them or somebody on your staff does, you cannot scale. So we're going to teach you how to do all of that in Entrepreneurship Solved. Every single thing that I just said is right here. And guys, this took me, not only was I stuck for 3 years, over 3 years to learn that, but I've been an entrepreneur for about 14 years. I spent over $500,000 in advertising spend. I took every class at Stanford University on entrepreneurship. My personal friend, Kevin Systrom, started Instagram, and I can message him and be like, hey, Kevin, what would you do about this? I learned all that from reading every book, trying everything. I had to go through years and years and years to learn this. I do not want you to go through the hell that I went through, nor do I want you to have to replicate that process, because again, there is no reality in which you're going to succeed without forming one-to-many closeness, guys. There's no reality in which you're going to succeed and scale without doing that. You might do it by accident, but you're going to have to do it. Would you rather leave it up to chance or just learn how to do it? Because literally this, all you have to do, put in your email and we'll send you this, and then this is the irrefutable evidence. See, I'm giving you guys irrefutable evidence for free, the first 10 chapters of the book, irrefutable as to whether or not this is going to be useful to you. Now beyond that, I'm also going to show you right now what this got me. So my goal was freedom and to experience the world. I had a list of everything that I wanted to do in my life, and I'm about to show you everything that figuring out this process got for me. I assure you, this was not cheap, but my goal was not to buy a yacht or a mansion. This was my goal, and this is what I got, irrefutably, you're about to see it, out of learning this. So if I can get this, whatever your goal is, to travel with your family, to spend more time with your family, to buy a mansion, to buy a yacht, if I can do this with this, you can do that with the same knowledge. It's just knowledge. You just have to do the right steps. So let's check that out. This is what I'm about to show you. This is what I got out of learning and executing on this process. This is my irrefutable visual evidence of the benefits of doing this, as well as you can just read it right here for free and see if that's going to help you.
La la la, loose, hanging loose out the window. Don't you feel your
Feet on the gravel, I might go travel.
might climb a mountain, jump in a fountain, do what we won't forget. Oh, street signs in the moonlight,
Yeah, it feels right.
running against the wind, let your hair fly, let the beat ride, take a chance,
It's like,
you won't regret it if you do it again.
ooh, ooh, ooh. I'll be on the road again. I'll be on the road again. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I'll be on the road again. I'll be on the road again.
All right, guys. So I want you to stop and visualize something for a second. Visualize that you become very good at grabbing the attention of your customers. We'll also talk about where to find them and how to find them, and to find those that specifically are interested in what you want and would buy it from you. So let's say you find them, visualize this, you grab their attention, then you understand exactly how to engage them and keep them engaged. Think of how long you've been watching this video. If I can get you to watch this video that long, then I can teach you how to engage other people. Now, imagine that you keep that going and that you show them that you're going to help them get to their goals or fix a problem, or that you're just entertaining them. Now, if you can grab their attention that well, the people that would be your customers, you can keep them engaged that long, and then you show them that you can help them reach a goal, fix a problem, or just entertain them. You do all of that, whatever you're selling resonates with them, hits home, something that they already want, fixes a problem that they already have, or merely entertains them in a really good way. And then you make an irresistible offer, and you show them irrefutable evidence, preferably irrefutable visual evidence, that whatever you're doing is awesome and works. Imagine all that, and you can do all of that scalably. It does not take any of your time or any of your employees' time for each time that you have to do that. Imagine, visualize that you could do all of that. Do you think that your business would succeed and scale if you were doing all of that? Do you think that your business would succeed and scale if you can successfully do all of that? And if it does, what does that mean for your life? What does that mean for your experience? What does that mean for your family? What does that mean for your lifestyle? What does that mean for how other people look at you? Think about that. Now, in Entrepreneurship Solved, we're going to go over how to do all of that, because I don't want anybody else to have to go through what I went through, or to replicate the process of learning what I had to learn. I honestly believe that that has become one of the reasons that I'm here. So, do you think that that would change your life? And if so, what does that mean about learning how to do that? Because I spent years, over 5 years, putting all of that in here in Entrepreneurship Solved very carefully, so that anybody can do that. So if you think that that would change your life, then it is very, very, very much worthwhile for you to give an email so that you can read this for yourself, the free first 10 chapters, and see irrefutably if that is going to be something that would help you and help your life. Guys, please, if you learned anything from this, please do one thing. Do not try to go out and reinvent the wheel. I know you're smart. You're probably one of the smartest people you know, where you wouldn't be thinking about trying to start a business. I know, like me, you're probably stubborn. You wouldn't be thinking about trying to start a business. But please, do not go out and just try to reinvent the wheel. That's how I got stuck for over 3 years, because I thought that I knew enough. And I did know 80 or 90% of the picture, and it's that last 10 to 20% that make all the difference. Because we've given people so many tools to start businesses and put out their agendas that it's gotten incredibly competitive. It's like an Olympic sport now, and I should know because I was a near Olympic level athlete. And at that level, you cannot do it yourself. You have to have a coach. So You need to learn from other people. There's millions of people go out there doing experiments right now, and there's people studying that and bringing that information to you. You have to learn what's rising to the top in other people's efforts and do what's working, and then find the 2 or 3 areas where you know best. And I absolutely did know best in 2 or 3 areas, and innovate in those areas while doing best practices in the other areas. That's how you win. That's how you win. Now, worst case scenario, let's say I'm completely wrong, I don't know what I'm talking about. You get the beginning of the book for free. Read the first 10 pages or so, and you'll know whether or not it's going to be valuable to you. What else could you do with that time? You could probably go to Starbucks and get a cup of coffee. You could probably watch part of a TV show on Netflix. You could probably watch 2 or 3 YouTube videos. Worst case scenario, that's all you lose. No money, a cup of coffee, or a couple YouTube videos. Best case scenario, I do know what I'm talking about. I went to Stanford. I'm friends, close personal friends with the founder of Instagram, as well as a lot of other Silicon Valley top entrepreneurs like Lisa Falzone, who started Revel Systems and sold it for over $100 million. The guy who's 3 or 4 on the team at Airbnb, also worth hundreds of millions. I've done over $500,000 of ad testing myself. Best case scenario, I know exactly what I'm talking about, and this changes your life. I would say if you execute everything in here properly, it should be worth at least $150,000 to you over the next 2 years alone. Best case scenario, just trying this, just seeing for yourself and forming your own opinion, just starting it, showing us where to send it. We'll send it to you by email. Just tell us where to send it, start it, and see for yourself, because it really, really might change your life. But whatever you do not just reinvent the wheel. Go out and learn from smart people what the best practices are, and then innovate in 2 to 3 areas. Guys, please give it a shot and see for yourself. I'll see you on the other side. So this right here, this is the free first 10 chapters of the book that you can get right now if you just give us an email and tell us where to send it. You see, this is great information. This is not some just free giveaway kind of a thing. This is the beginning of the book, and we're gonna dive into exactly how to do all this. But 2 things, guys. First off, you really, really, really need to start right now, because this is the easiest time to talk to people, to form relationships, and to get sales there's been in a long time. Why? Because people are bored. And that doesn't happen much in the modern world. The second thing is that you have to form relationships in order to create profitable, scalable sales. We'll talk over and over and over again about why it has to be that way, but when you accept that and you do it, it will change your life. It will change your business. Everything will change for you. You just have to form relationships. Otherwise, it's like running up to somebody on the street who's never seen you before and being like, buy this, buy this, buy this. It's the greatest thing ever. Could be the greatest thing ever. You're gonna freak them out. They're not gonna buy it. But if you form a relationship, and then if you have an irresistible offer, you're gonna create scalable sales. What's an irresistible offer? Now, I like this. Russell Brunson just talked about this. Would you buy this phone, my phone, for $1,000? It's got a crack, because I was just doing this demonstration recently. It's got a crack right there. Would you buy this for $1,000? I'm sure you wouldn't. But now think of this. I'm close college friends with Kevin Systrom, the founder of Instagram. Imagine if you could get something in front of Kevin Systrom, the founder of Instagram. Everybody he knows, he's a billionaire. What would that do for your business? What could he help you do? I'm also close friends with Michaela Schifrin, multiple-time Olympic gold medalist with over 1 million followers, rabid followers on Instagram. I'm also friends with Lindsey Vohn's brother, another Olympic gold medalist. You've probably heard of her. What could they do if they were associated with your business? Another friend of mine, Nick Lippin, is the manager for Matchbox 20. He can get you in contact with Matchbox 20. Well, guess what? You can talk to all of them from my phone. All of my customers, they're in my email. All of my notes, everything I know about business, it's on my phone. Now imagine what you could do with this. Would you pay $1,000 for that? Plus the phone? $2,500? I bet some of you would pay $25,000 because you know exactly what you would do along with the founder of Instagram, or with Lindsey Vonn, or with these other people. That's an irresistible offer. This changes everything when you know what's really involved in it, when you know why it's exceptional. It has to be the right offer. You combine that with a relationship and you will sell. But you gotta get started right now. You do not want to let this period in time when people are bored and it's so easy to talk to them go by. You want to seize that. And you don't want to be wasting your time and your money anymore. You want to break through. Do it the way that all successful businesses do. Break through, make it happen, and make it happen now. Go and just tell us where to send this, and we'll send it to you right now. You get started, and we'll show you exactly how to do all of that, how to break through. And I will tell you right now, this will be the most valuable, most helpful, free thing you ever get in your entire life. And I'll bet you, if it isn't, you can send me all the nasty, angry emails ever that I wasted your time and you tried reading it. But if it is, you all have to email me and tell me how cool and handsome and awesome I am. Fair enough? This will change your life. There's everything just in here that some of you need to make millions. Yes, as you continue through the book after this part, it will help you speed that up. But this will be the most valuable free thing you ever get in your whole life. It will change your life. Get it now. Don't wait. All right, guys, there's one thing that I have to communicate to you before you finish this video, or I've totally failed you. And that is that there is no reality in which you win and scale a business without the processes outlined throughout this book. There is no reality in which that happens. Maybe if you're selling oil or diamonds, but otherwise there's no reality where that happens. Why? Because I'm so smart and I invented all this great stuff. I didn't invent any of this. I discovered this. I was a really successful entrepreneur for 6 years. Then I completely got stuck for 3 years, made almost no money, spent over $500,000 in ad testing, tried everything, read everything, even picked the brains of my entrepreneur friends like Kevin Systrom, the founder of Instagram, in order to discover these things for myself. And then I was like, wow, nobody should ever have to recreate that. That sucked. And now I'm sharing it with you guys. And what I discovered is that basically all businesses, we have to say basically for legal reasons, all businesses that succeed and scale use these processes. Now, here's what's going to happen. Most of you are going to click through from this video to get this, which I really appreciate. I love the love. I love it. But then the data is very clear. Most of you are going to click through, and then more than half of you are going to be like, I don't want to leave an email, even to get the intro of the book, which might potentially change my life, which I was all excited about. I just don't want to leave an email, and you're going to leave, and you're going to go watch a YouTube video. Now, for those of you that aren't going to do that, does that make any sense at all? I understand the psychology of it, but you watch the whole video, you get all excited, you go through, and then you just don't leave an email. It doesn't make any sense. But that's what more than half of you are going to do. Now, if you do that, you're going to have to recreate all of this yourself. It's going to cost you tens of thousands of dollars, years of your life, probably hundreds of thousands of dollars of testing to recreate this yourself, because there's no reality in which you scale a business without using the processes that we outline in here. And yes, I do know that a lot of you are skeptics. You know what skeptics do? They investigate. So we're giving you irrefutable evidence. You can read this for yourself and see if I'm a complete idiot or if I actually know what I'm talking about for yourself by investigating, by reading this, sending you irrefutable evidence so you can draw your own conclusion. That's for the skeptics in the back. Now, we also have a Telegram group. It's brand new. It's like a text message group, except it's anonymous. You can click through to join it. If you don't have Telegram, it'll have you download it, super easy. You associate a phone number with your account, but nobody sees the phone number. You can put in whatever name you want, and they'll only see the name that you enter. You could be Zorro if you want. In that group, I'm going to answer as many of your questions as I possibly can. You guys can answer each other's questions. You all have the same knowledge base. And we're also going to have free Zoom calls where on video conferencing, we can dive into your businesses and talk about how to make them amazing and scale them. And everybody can learn from that. We can also go over other case studies, whatever you want. All that's for free. And from the Telegram group, you can also download the free intro of the book. So choose email or Telegram. Those of you who click through from this and then are like, I don't want to leave an email or join the Telegram group, and then you go watch another YouTube video, you're gonna have to recreate all this. It's not gonna be fun at all. It's really gonna suck. I don't know what to say. Some of you are gonna do that. It doesn't make any sense, but that's how it's gonna have to go. If you do that, you're gonna have to recreate it. I made this I spent all the time on this, years and years and years, so that you guys don't have to recreate this. I cannot wait to meet you guys, help you guys succeed, help you guys scale, and I cannot wait to see you on the other side.